ladies and gentlemen. It's Game Changer Sports Network bringing you the Ringside Roundup. I'm your host, JD, and of course, joining me today, you've got the smartest man in the room, Mr. Martin Lee, and the boss, the owner, the llama, Mr. Jake Jollymore. We're not too sweeting. I'm not doing it. Look, this show is my responsibility, and I'm not going to get a cease and desist from the dubs just because we all decided to do llama kisses.
I'm going to be honest, my plan was to do that and start that whole thing well when the countdown was happening, but I got wrapped up in getting everything actually set for the backstage, so I screwed up my chance on that one. I'm kind of disappointed in myself.
You know, that's all right. I think letting the people see the behind the scenes of you trying to hide under your desk was perfect.
How do you land on the – I'm not mad, but how do you land on the Twitch by accident?
I don't know. I mean, we appreciate you joining us in the box collection. And
specifically on Twitch.
We're chugging down the Twitch train today because that's what we do.
Chugga, Twitch.
I'll give that like a I'll give that workplace flashbacks. How's that sound?
So real quick, Triple H is currently entering the ring on Monday Night Raw. Just to let you know, we got some interesting stuff going on.
Just throw it out there to start. So yeah, we got Monday Night Raw going on. Of course, at the same time we stream, and Drew McIntyre is going to be absent for the next 2 weeks as he has tested positive for COVID. And after that got announced, it was also announced that Triple H would be starting the show. So we're kind of watching in and trying to keep in tune with what's going on with that.
He's about to speak.
Yeah, he's about to speak, and he hasn't spoken in the ring since what, 2019?
No, he hasn't physically been in the ring wrestling since 2019. Also, this is the first time I'm watching any WWE event from the Astrodome. What is it? Thunderdome? Astrodome, Thunderdome? That's a
Dome.
All right, so with real quick, as you just said, Drew being COVID positive and them being up against the college football championship tonight has put them in a really tough spot.
It has. What is the draw on Raw nowadays?
Instantly, okay, I see where this is going. All right, Randy Orton's interrupting Triple H. Randy Orton was supposed to be in the WWE title match against Drew McIntyre in the main event. Obviously, we're going to get Randy Orton versus Triple H in the main event, and I'm already done with Raw. I don't need anything else. I'm figuring it out. Crack the code.
That's it. Okay. How long did it take for us to crack the code of Raw tonight?
Our show's been on for 5 minutes and 9 seconds.
So 5 minutes and 9 seconds. We've cracked the code to Raw. If you guys want to check that match, it'll be on almost 2 hours after we're done. So we all love our wrestling here on Ringside Roundup, but you're not a real wrestling fan unless you also hate wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, if this was 5 years ago, I'd be super hyped for this match.
5 years ago, absolutely. I cannot disagree with that. But yeah, go ahead, Martin.
When Triple H could actually go, and yeah, I'd be excited if Triple H could actually go. I'd be excited, but now I'm not really that excited anymore.
I hear you. I mean, it's
Randy Orton wearing gym shorts is really throwing me for a curveball right now.
Hey, let a man wear his gym shorts, you know?
Oh, he absolutely can wear gym shorts. It's just weird.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. But that brings us up to our first major plot point for tonight. If Triple H, of course, Triple H coming in 5 years ago, we'd all be excited about this. But is there a lack of star power in wrestling? Or, as I would like to bring up, is there a lack of star power in WWE?
Martin, let's start with you because I have a lot to say on this topic.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. like I can see where you're coming from with the lack of star power, and I kind of have to agree with you because because every time because now you see the legend going every time, and WWE really lacks star power. But when you get but after WWE, I can see that happening because you because sure you got AEW, but there's only a couple of guys in AEW that are legit superstars, and like everyone knows about them. And New Japan is you can't really say that about much people in America knowing that much about New Japan. So I think it's just a problem with wrestling.
All right, so what is our metric for superstars? What is star power? What is our metric? We have to establish that first. To me, the metric is somebody that transcends the company they are in, and they are more popular than the company they are in.
More of a media presence, kind of a pop culture reference almost.
Quite frankly, Titus O'Neil is a superstar. Maybe not in the WWE, but his media work and his outside endeavors are second to none.
Yeah.
He transcends the WWE through everything else he does, but doesn't get booked correctly in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Titus O'Neil, they had to bring back Triple H because Drew McIntyre is missing. Can you name a single WWE superstar right now that is more popular than the WWE? If you
Right now,
Jay Martin, right now, let's say, let's go to Seattle, Washington, go to the WWE show. What are we going to say? We're going to see the WWE, right?
Yeah, we're going to go
Back
see
in
the main show here.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was, I'm going to see Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to see The Rock. I'm going to see DX. Those are the guys that transcended the company they were in, and they are bigger than the company that they were in. Therefore, bringing the popularity of the company they're in up. John Cena, one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
I'd say she'd be one of the closest in the modern era.
Yeah, I did that.
What has she done outside of the WWE that makes her so popular? What media have they let her do?
Right. I mean, at the same time, though, her in-ring wrestling has made her very popular.
With the diehards.
Yes. That one's for me, gents. That one's for me.
Got you. I got you, boo-boo. The WWE doesn't have any truly superstars. Randy Orton could be if he did anything worth a damn outside of the WWE that wasn't a stupid WWE movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if you look at AEW, in terms of popularity of AEW and their superstars, Kenny Omega transcends AEW.
Yes.
But is he mainstream? I would argue because of his video game endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, and we're taking New Japan out of this because Japan's not for the entire conversation for the Kenny Omega part of it and the AEW guys, because Japan's its own animal.
Yes, absolutely.
I
would counter argue this with AEW is that they kind of get their popularity for being the kind of outcast group anyways when it comes to wrestling as a whole. I mean, all their shirts sell like hot biscuits over at Hot Topic. Bullet Club is Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, all of that stuff sells very well. They have sold hundreds of thousands of t-shirts at this point, I assume. But I think they kind of get that as being the young, scrappy underdogs, the outcast group that just flips their hair. We don't care what you think of us. We're doing our own thing. Does that translate to stardom? No, but I think that's a good majority of their popularity.
Now, as I said, and we're going to segue into this real quick, New Japan is its own animal. The way Japan just operates as a whole, the fans to the workers, those guys transcend the company they're in. You, if I have this correctly, you can't walk through, I'm forgetting right now, Giant Square. Like the Times Square of Japan. What is it called?
I don't know landmarks. I'm sorry.
The name of it. Okay. It's basically the time. I know the name of it. I'm just stupid, apparently.
That's all right. We know.
The Times Square of Japan. You can't walk through without seeing a New Japan star on one of the billboards.
I'm not surprised.
Wrestling is just, it hits differently over there.
Yeah. I mean, it hits differently, and at the same time, when you take a look, they have magazines dedicated to this stuff. They had mangas dedicated to this stuff. So it is part of the culture. Does it necessarily mean that it's a huge part of the culture? No, but definitely when it comes to building stars, I think they have a great system down. Does that mean that they are superstars in all of the wrestling community? Definitely not. I mean, there are some names that people know of. People know of Naito. People know of Okada, Kota Ibushi. There are some that end up transcending. But does it get to the point where it's such a feverish, almost rabid kind of crowd control like John Cena, The Rock, or Stone Cold had, where they could just enter the ring and it's 5 minutes of them not even talking because the fans are just going nuts? I don't think it's reached that. Now, mind you, the culture differences. Japan is usually very quiet and everything when the wrestlers, because I'm not going to say superstars at this point, get in the ring. But would we see the same thing here in America? I've gone to one New Japan show in America, and it was pretty big, but never in that level of a 10,000 seat arena losing their mind. So maybe it is just a lack of star power in wrestling, period, the end.
Is there any way, because if we're going to be honest, the easiest chance is the WWE.
Yeah.
Yes, that is Gronk kissing a kitten behind me. It is my wife's poster. She insisted I have it on the wall.
See, I was concerned. If I may, that comment scared me because I thought someone was watching Raw and asking us. And how terrifying would that have been?
Okay, Gronkowski is still in the playoffs, much to my own chagrin. I'll talk about that tomorrow on 60-Yard Dash with Austin and Bryce and myself. Shameless plug. So he won't be appearing on WWE until that's at least over, although he was part of the cutbacks along with Cain Velasquez. So I doubt he's ever coming back. So what can I don't know who that girl was, but I like her hair. What can the WWE do to create superstars? Because right now, like, Charlotte Flair is coming to the ring.
Yep.
She's a 62-time fucking women's champion at this point?
Something like that.
Maybe more, maybe less. Who knows? What can they do to get her to the next level? Do you want me to take a Bully Ray expression real quick and take the pencil?
I mean, there's literally nothing I can think of, at least with Charlotte Flair, because I don't think.
All right, bet.
I don't think they did it right.
All right, bet. I could get her over as a face, as a heel. I can do it. And let's call it 6 months. You get a good storyline out of what I'm about to say.
Okay.
And this will take Charlotte next level. Bring back Trish. Bring back Lita. Bring back Melina. Bring back Maurice. All these girls, I almost said Ashley Lazaro. That would have went really bad.
Yeah.
All these girls that were super over back in their time, say right away have Charlotte just start destroying them, but make a good storyline out of it. Use the popularity of Trish Stratus coming back to give Charlotte the rub. Because right away, if you bring Trish back for, let's say, one night, the last thing you want to do is see Charlotte Flair beat her. Give Trish the first win.
Yes.
Give Trish that first win. Play out the storyline to your whatever the next big pay-per-view is. However, I'm not going to say which should be at what event. I don't care, quite frankly.
Right.
And this is the type of thing that would be at the Big Four. You're not going to have Trish versus Charlotte at, like, Payback. That's not going to happen. So you get two of the big events, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, in a 6-month time frame, 2 matches. Then you have to have the rubber match. But then you have Charlotte in the second match, I don't know, maybe injure Trish, which causes Lita to come stick up for her real-life friend. Now you just took that and brought it another 6 months to wrap back around and have Trish at the next WrestleMania. Let's time it out like that.
Right.
So the rubber match after a injury to Trish is going to be Trish with Lita in her corner against Charlotte at WrestleMania, where Charlotte finally goes over. The problem is you can't have Charlotte destroying everybody in that time.
Right.
Charlotte has to look defeatable.
Maybe the second match is a roll up or something like that. You know, you can.
She has to steal the victory. She has to DQ the victory. Something stupid.
Right.
And that would take Charlotte to the next level. Then you say that again.
A count-out qualification.
Yeah, exactly. Or you do the old chicken shit. Take the chair, throw it at Trish. You fall down. Ref turns around. Ding, ding, ding. I love that. Oh, I love that finish if it's used properly.
Not for Flair. Not for Charlotte Flair.
Oh no! If the storyline's built correctly, and they could. That's my favorite heel finish ever.
I love the finish. I popped so hard the first time I ever seen Eddie do it, and so I cannot disagree with that. It is fantastic. It is genius. I don't see that being the way for Charlotte Flair, though.
If Trish already has that first win.
But if at the same time, if Trish is supposed to be injured during the second match, how bad would it be if they're already injured and then you still can only
post-match beatdown it.
Okay.
Chicken shit heel the win, post-match beatdown. Use the chicken shit heel. Yeah, use the chicken shit heel chair specifically to do the beatdown. Boom.
And then it takes Lita that long, the whole beatdown, just to get out there. And then suddenly everyone's popping because there's Lita.
Exactly. Boom. You're using the star power that you had already created to help get, and this doesn't even have to technically be Charlotte. This could be anybody.
This could be Sasha. This could be, I don't think Bayley needs it as much.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Rhea Ripley would be good for this.
That's
Because she's already on that losing streak.
Right.
So you bring her up, Trish, boom. We just made magic.
I agree. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say you cheated, though, because when I was trying to plan mine out, I wasn't using retired wrestlers.
Okay, so wait. So you want to get somebody over right now with people currently on the roster?
Yeah, with the current roster.
Okay. No, ready? Call up Tommaso Ciampa. Call him up. Put a match against Randy Orton, give him the win. Put him in a match against Drew McIntyre, not for the title, give him a win. Keith Lee, give him a win. Then, because it's only Ciampa, he's one of the grittiest. But then, whoever you have versus him the fourth time, he goes to SmackDown for some godforsaken reason. Let's say the brand split ends. Loses to Kevin Owens.
Makes sense.
Exactly. There's nobody on Raw, I think, that would actually be a good person for Ciampa to lose to in this scenario.
Yeah, it would just be feeding into someone. Like right now, Keith Lee is the one with the momentum in Raw, and if you just called up Ciampa to start winning, just to run into the wall of Keith Lee, I think that would
You
that ends
also have to build the storyline so that people give a shit. Nobody, off the top of your head right now, because you're an encyclopedia of this stuff, this question doesn't apply to you. Can you name one actual storyline in the WWE that isn't Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Kevin Owens?
I
don't even know who McIntyre's feuding with anymore. Like, Goldberg just started last week.
Right. Sami Zayn's all kind of crazy and I want it my way. Backstreet Boy Castro kind of thing. Yeah, that's the only one I know.
All right. So nobody gives a shit about any other storylines.
No, not really.
Like, I may have missed something in the pre-match stuff, but why is Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans right now? Why? It's just one. There was talking in the beginning I didn't catch.
Matt says Randy Orton and the Fiend.
It looks like Randy Orton's feuding with Triple H now, so
yeah, I mean, it looks like that's at the very least. Is that on pause or? And that's the thing. Randy Orton is able to walk away from the Fiend like that now.
Oh, they already ruined that storyline. That entire storyline is dead to me.
Wow.
Was it dead? Was it dead to you after? Well, was it dead to you before or after they set Alexa was on fire?
So what ruined that storyline for me specifically was last week. Now, mind you, we all know I don't watch Monday Night Raw. We all know. I catch up on everything on the internet. I dissect what I want to actually pay attention to.
Right.
Like this match, I probably wouldn't give a shit about. But what ruined this, and Matt says the feud isn't over, but let me tell you why it should be over. Last week, on Legends Night, I think it was 37 minutes into the show, Randy Orton had a backstage segment where it was, I just couldn't light Alexa Bliss on fire. I couldn't do it. So you can beat the shit out of him, verbally abuse all of the legends last week. Can't light Alexa Bliss on fire. That was probably one of the best segments, the Alexa Bliss segment specifically, when she poured the gasoline all over herself. It was probably one of the best segments of 2020. And they came back the next week. I would have rather they put it on pause and just not done anything with it. Didn't even mention it. Randy Orton did whatever he did and didn't mention at all what had happened. And they came back to it this week.
Right.
Wait in suspense. Make us no. Now that storyline's dead and you can't sell me on it. To save a life, it's almost as bad as Retribution. All right, guys, I'm ranting a lot tonight. Can you let me not talk so much?
No. Now I want to dissect this because I mean I can understand where you're coming from. Retribution, hot start, lots of potential. Randy Orton and the Fiend, hot start. We were getting to the potential bits, and then we had an Inferno match and all that. And now they're both just kind of squealing to a halt. But I mean, to say that it's as bad.
Do you see the amusement on my face for what's going on Monday Night Raw right now?
I'm not watching it. Like I said, my computer is faced this way. My TV is this way.
Let me fill you in, my man. Charlotte Flair in the ring doing what I don't know if she won the match. I don't know. And they go to a commercial. Oh my God, their commercial breaks are so bad.
Would it be better if it was hosted by Nickelodeon?
Actually, it would, because that was a phenomenal fight. Again, we'll talk about that tomorrow, same time as this, on the 60-yard dash with Austin, Bryce, and Jake. Now, back to talking about wrestling. Ric Flair is coming to the ring right now. This is a storyline that was already dead to me, too. What happened last week? Martin, tell us what happened last week.
Yeah, I don't know. I was sleeping.
So Ric Flair and Randy Orton were in a segment, and I can forget what happened, but I think he attacked.
You're missing something here. You are missing something.
Oh,
See,
wait. You mean
he lets you start, Martin, and then he cuts you off.
Wait. I'm trying to remember now. Oh yeah, now I got it. So it was Ric Flair and Charlotte. They had a match. They had Charlotte and Peyton Royce had a match, and Ric Flair, who was supposed to trip Peyton Royce, he tripped Charlotte Flair by accident, and then she was like, she cost Ric Flair cost Charlotte the match. She was like, get out of my face. And then when he gets to the backstage, she forgets all about it.
So, Charlotte Flair said something very important to Rick. It was the, I don't want you, blah, 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 you're not my real father.
Oh, God.
Ric Flair looked super upset. He sold it well, and then like 20 minutes later, didn't give a shit when Randy Orton approached him backstage. So whatever's about to happen between Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair, if Ric Flair didn't care 20 minutes later, why am I going to care 7 days later? I'm not.
And not sure who would.
That's true. And I mean, how many times have Charlotte and Rick been like on again, off again?
Really weird way to say that, my friend.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm putting myself in timeout.
That was
Martin.
How many times have they been together in a wrestling sense? Yeah, there's no good way to say this.
Wrestling alliance.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah, there's no good way to say this one.
Too many.
Exactly.
Too many times to count.
It's. Would we put it up in the numbers of Big Show face turn heels? Face heel turns? Nope, the words just aren't there anymore. You messed me up, Jake.
We have currently 12 viewers on screen right now. If anybody can tell me 11. I said 12 and it went down to 11 instantly. I guess you guys don't like it, me saying the numbers. If anybody can tell me what one bright spot on Monday Night Raw is that I can't physically dissect, I'll send you like a lanyard or something. Or like a sticker for the Game Changer. Something that doesn't suck on Monday Night Raw.
I didn't think so.
Oh, the match is still going on. And Ric Flair's just there. So they played Ric Flair's music for nothing.
Let's see. Chad is the first one to challenge.
The first thing I think of is
I'm just saying, I don't think that comment is anything to do with what I said.
Is maybe the Hurt Business?
No.
It might be. But
Aiden George chimed in with, did you guys just hear what happened to Drew McIntyre? So I didn't listen. I have Raw on, but I don't have the sound on because we're doing the show, obviously. I know he has COVID. If there's any more to it, please let us know. Martin, do you have sound on your TV, or are you just like me?
I'm not even watching it.
He's not even watching.
I'm so proud of Martin right now.
I'm just keeping up on Raw. I'm just keeping up on my computer of what's going on.
But conversely, if there's not a bright spot on Raw, can we even name, like, as we were talking about earlier, this lack of star power can someone in the comments, can someone out there in Twitch land, Facebook land, Twitter land, wherever you are, can you actually name an actual superstar that rivals in the likes of John Cena or The Rock or Stone Cold or even The Undertaker? I don't see it in WWE or even in wrestling in general right now, and I don't see a potential for someone reaching that level in the near future. I'm going to say
something very controversial.
Sure. So
I'm watching Charlotte and Lacey Evans right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lacey Evans should be the face of the women's division.
I have a feeling you're going to go with that.
But
I can see that.
She has to be face for it. former military girl, looks phenomenal in the ring and physical looks. She's got the it factor. She can talk. You can't go. First off, you cannot go wrong with former military in a top spot in your company, no matter what you do for a job.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Agreed. Is she a national babyface as well?
The sheer amount of we know too much about her child at this point through her Instagram. Use that. You could get her over in less than a month with everybody, and she would transcend.
Yeah, I mean, at the very, and I don't mean this as an insult or anything, at the very least, she's a B+ across the board when it comes to everything you're looking for your wrestlers, technical skills, talking on the mic, I would agree. She would make a fantastic face of the women's division.
All right, guys, nobody tell my wife, but when we're on show, I play with my wedding ring and it just fell. I don't know where it went. So like when you can't see my hands, I'm literally sitting here just playing with the wedding ring. And I don't know, it's obviously somewhere in my house, but like it's gone.
Well, I promise I won't say anything on the stream that you happen to lose your wife's wedding ring, the one thing that shows the bond between two people that are connected via.
Jay, you're not helping. I don't need your sass right now. So Matt Boyd says the closest you have is Randy Orton, but Randy Orton doesn't do anything to get his popularity.
And I would say Randy Orton.
We might see Rhea Ripley tonight.
Okay, that's cool. But even then, though, going to Matt, I mean, Randy Orton's kind of just grandfathered in at this point because of the amount of work that he's done for wrestling. But has he reached that level, and could he transcend to that level? I don't see it. I would have to say that it'd have to be someone that's a bit younger, that still has a lot of their title wins ahead of them. And the person that, for me at least, the person that could fill that, and I don't see it happening, would be Kevin Owens.
So, okay. Kevin Owens is actually not that far off in age from Randy Orton.
Right, but more title wins ahead of him is what I'm talking about as far as that goes.
Well, Ric Flair just cost Charlotte the match again. Woo.
Here we go.
Everyone, let's give the most meteoric Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair woo possible. Woo.
So,
yes, good.
Oh, apparently Elias and Jeff Hardy are in the storyline.
Well done, Martin. I love that.
So,
with that.
Yeah, Elias and Jeff Hardy are still going? Still going?
Apparently. It looks like they really just are hitting each other with guitars.
But yeah, that's the story.
It's kind of I'm down for this. Can we get Jeff Jarrett in on this? I know he's backstage.
Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, man. More star power. What a funny commercial for the WWE to have. It's shirts. But it says more star power when they have 0 star power. So going back to the conversation real quick, if you're going to take a younger guy to potentially fill that role, you want to take somebody probably on the south side of 30 that you can sign to a 10-year contract like you did Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's a full-on wrestler. He's nothing else. He doesn't want to be anything else.
Yeah.
So given those metrics, who do we have?
How old's Adam Cole, baby?
31. He's 31. And if you can get him into a 10-year deal, I highly doubt he's going to. I'm dead convinced he's going with AEW. He's just riding up the WWE for the money.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that one.
I highly doubt he would ever sign a 10-year deal.
But if he
did, he'd be the perfect choice. Perfect. And then you build your company around him.
Yeah. Could we see
Yeah, like you said, again, Adam Cole is the perfect guy you can build your company around. If you can get him to agree to a very long-term contract. But as you said, the odds of that is not happening. So it's hard to say right now. Like you said, if it was a guy, then I'm not sure, but girl, Lacey Evans was who I would pick if it was a woman. But the guy, I'm not sure.
I got
That
it.
that being said, as far as women go, could Sasha Banks or Bayley fill that for a women's role?
So the only thing about women.
Sasha Banks,
Go ahead, Martin.
Did I start a
Sasha
fight?
Banks is close. Sasha Banks is close because she was in the Mandalorian, so she could be going there.
She's got a media presence.
With the ladies, there's a big X factor. In order for it to work for the ladies, they can literally not want to have to start a family. If you want to be that transcendental female in the WWE, you can't get pregnant and start a family, i.e. Becky Lynch. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the way WWE works, and we're really going to see how it all plays out with Becky Lynch's return, if she returns.
Right.
But does Sasha Banks want a family? If so, she's not going to lock herself into a 10-year deal. Look at Ronda Rousey. She came in for 8 months, decided she wanted a kid, and left. Hasn't had a kid yet, but
eventual process, but
I think she's coming back before she has a child.
But yeah, I mean, that does definitely throw a huge X factor in it, and it's the way life works, unfortunately, because I don't expect anyone to take bumps if they're carrying a child. That'd be bad.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
There's one other male that I think would be good, but it would make the WWE completely change the structure as they know it. And
I'm all ears for that.
In reality, the only potential in Lacey Evans and Ric Flair are dancing in the back. What the hell is happening?
Oh boy.
In reality, the only way who I'm about to say ever works is if Triple H takes over. But 110%, this man has everything you need to be that kind of superstar. Isaiah Swerve Scott. Strickland. Shane Strickland. 100%. He has the it factor. He has the sex appeal. He has the mainstream face to lead the company. Not only that, he's also African American, which is something the WWE has been lacking for so long, putting an African American in that top spot.
Mm-hmm.
He has everything you could possibly want in a potential champion.
Now, why would WWE end up changing its whole landscape, its whole way it does things, though? I mean,
it's only a matter of time before ratings drop under 1 million. What they're doing is not working.
Yes, that is true. That's very true. I mean,
it is not working in the slightest.
We are all usually in agreement that we try to avoid Raw. We avoid Raw like the plague. We literally host our show during Raw. And I think half of it is just for us to avoid watching it. But at the same time,
we got a hot take from Anthony.
All right.
Before I read his comment, I want to remind everybody that if you like, share, comment on this video, it gets it out more. It gets so people see our beautiful shining faces, me yelling at Jay and Martin, everything. It gives us everything we need, and it, I don't know, maybe makes me a little happy if you like our video.
Especially when we get hot takes like this.
All right. Are we ready on the hot take?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
You read it.
Well, you're the one who's going to blow up at it. From Anthony. Hot take. Drew McIntyre is one of the worst champions in the last decade. Let me see why. He is forgettable. His in-ring skill is good enough, not knocking him for that, but him as a babyface lacks the it factor. His mic skills are average at best, and he just does nothing for me. Give it to Keith Lee or someone who wasn't in the three-man band. Drew will do nothing to move the needle. All right. That is a hot take.
Ooh.
I know.
That is a hot take right there.
Anthony.
Nope. Be gentle, Jake.
No, I'm going to be. No, because I kind of agree with him. My only thing is how much of it is because there's no fans in the crowd.
That's one thing. Bingo.
I was about to say that. That was exactly my mindset.
We need a solid. Okay, Anthony. Again, that's not fair. Because ratings across everything except the NFL are down. Look at the NBA Finals; they had their worst in history. So, and he's just fully ready.
Yeah,
it's you're not going to know how Drew
cage match.
You're not going to know how Drew McIntyre is as a champion until crowds come back. Because if we're being honest, before COVID, ratings were already starting to decline, and they were declining rapidly. Nobody wanted to admit it. Everybody thought with COVID and everybody being home, ratings were going to increase dramatically. Across the board, across TV, they didn't.
At the same time,
that's not only sports. That's Chicago PD, for crying out loud.
I was about to say, at the same time, can we admit that like TV in itself is dying? With all streaming services, internet access I mean,
streaming services.
You know, I think we're going through a transition in technology at the same time.
Why is Jackson Riker with Elias?
That's been happening for like a few weeks now, I think. Maybe a month.
But yeah, I think we're going through a technological change where they're not getting all the numbers that they need to be able to say, hey, this is where we're at. But at the same time, I would say Drew is a B player. You know, he's good. Is he the greatest? No, but when it comes to Raw, he's still one of the exciting things to watch. Now, mind you, I always been a fan of an Elias push. I think Elias should have been. He was my early 2000s Carlito, where I went, oh man, I would love to see a babyface push for him. You know,
yeah. Never got something. How do we switch to Elias?
Because I like Elias.
Oh, so you just up and change the subject completely?
No, I'm saying as far as people getting pushed, you know, I think Drew McIntyre is a good filler for right now because I think when it comes to Raw, he is one of the more watchable parts on Raw. The Fiend, of course, being
Orton. They should have had Orton win the belt and keep it.
Yeah, I can see that.
No matter what Orton does, it's viable.
Yeah. And then after that, when crowds start coming back, if crowds start coming back, whatever happens, then try the Drew experiment again.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and read it.
There's no fans for Roman Reigns, and yet I would say he is killing it. Sure, I will give Drew the benefit of the doubt with no fans. But all I'm saying is that there's more talented guys to give it to. I think Drew is always, has been and always will be a Vince. He's good, but not the guy, in my opinion. I like Elias too, and I can see a lot of potential there. Hey, that's right. You and me showing the boss what's up. I mean,
I didn't say I didn't. Hold on. I never said I didn't like Elias. Let's back up that train real quick. Going on to that, there's a huge difference in Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre right now. And that big difference is 2 words.
Storyline?
I mean, I get that's 1 word, but I guess that also fits. It's Paul Heyman. Because anything Paul Heyman's involved in, you know he has a say in. So the storyline runs through Paul Heyman, and it's being run through beautifully. if you put Paul Heyman in Drew McIntyre's corner, we'd be singing a whole different tune right now. We'd be saying, "Oh, the Roman Reigns heel turn failed."
Right. I mean, and at the same time, to give Anthony his credit, he's not saying that Drew's bad. I just think that the timing has been horrific, because I think we would see a lot of people getting behind. So, that's my opinion. But hard to say. I mean, I think the way that we're measuring Drew as a champion is right now, all our tools to calibrate that are just wonky.
I agree. And until crowds come back, it's almost I'm gonna be honest. Drew and John Moxley are the same.
I'm trying to figure out this leap in logic.
They're the same as champions, where watching the climb was phenomenal. When they got to the mountaintop, there was no crowd. You couldn't see that moment really happen.
Makes a better challenger than they do champion.
Did Moxley win it with no crowd, or was there a crowd?
I think there was a crowd at Revolution. It was in February, I believe.
So it would have been one of the last events with the crowd. But the entire title reign had no crowd.
Yeah, basically.
We don't know really.
Yeah, he's
now we're gonna duke it out. Anthony, you got a game. You want to come on and fight this out real quick?
So Anthony says that he disagrees with the Heyman point to a degree. Roman's whole body language and his physicality, he really brings out the snob badass character rather than the typical Superman good guy Drew is. Heyman helps, but Reigns says enough, and how he carries himself makes the difference. And this is coming from, and Anthony also commented that it's coming from a Reigns hater. And
once again, Paul Heyman has so much say in this, and he knows exactly whatever. In one specific scene, you had 4 people, and it was last week on SmackDown when Adam Pearce came to the ring. Adam Pearce looked terrified. Roman Reigns looked like Roman Reigns doing Roman Reigns things. Paul Heyman looked nervous, and Jimmy Uso was laughing in the background. Small details that normal storyline guys aren't going to put together, but Paul Heyman knows this is how we make this storyline. Small fucking details. Everything Roman Reigns has going on is because of Paul Heyman. Because creative did him no favors as a face. They shit ain't going to do him any favors as a heel. No, it's all Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to look at the failed Roman Reigns experiment, maybe, and is it just harder to be a face than a heel in WWE right now? I mean, it is harder, period, the end, to be a face than a heel, because you actually have to make people like you. You can be a heel by doing the usual, go out there and just be, yes, insert city's championship team here are bad. And that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. But, are you giving me a hint here? Okay, fine. This is the part where I take over the show, folks.
I'm going to watch Jeff Hardy and Elias apparently wrestle a match.
So we got about 10 minutes left to go. We're keeping on schedule. So the New Japan Blitz, don't forget to follow us on Twitch at @official_GCSN. Please follow us on Twitch. We're trying to build out over there. It's very fun. I've been on Twitch for a little bit now, and it is extremely fun. But anyways, New Japan Blitz, here we go. We had night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom happen literally like 5 hours after last week's show, and I've had to hold this in since then. And what a night of wrestling it is. Wrestle Kingdom is my time. It's J time, where I get to watch arguably, but in my opinion, not so arguably, the best wrestling in the world.
Are we not going to talk about how you were wrong?
We'll get there. Let me talk about the matches, though. Can I talk about the match?
Okay, I just want to make sure. I have to hold you accountable, Jay.
Okay, I'll be held accountable, and I don't mind
All
that.
right.
But we had literally 4 matches, the last 4 matches of Wrestle Kingdom, the last 4 matches of night 2, literally on any card, anywhere, any night, could have main evented and been worth their money in gold. Easily 4 matches that could be match of the year candidates. And in my opinion, the main event was not the best match. I know Martin's going to get mad at me for that. I think it was Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb. What a match. What a fantastic match. But the ending build with that card, the way that they put these 4 matches together was beautiful because it went through different styles in each match. It flowed perfectly. Each match meant something. And it was wrestling at its gosh darn finest. So that happened. With, of course, the big shock of Kota Ibushi winning and beating Jay White, which was a big surprise to all 3 of us. And where I was wrong, Mr. Jon Moxley did not show up on night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom with the U.S. title to defend it.
That's not what I was talking about.
Which other part? Which other part?
You said last week that New Japan wasn't going to pull the trigger on Kota Ibushi yet.
Okay, well, did I not say that? I said that to my surprise. I just downplayed it a little bit more to the Jon Moxley one because I'm not
letting you. Yeah, we were definitely all wrong. You don't need to drag the show down with you.
Okay, so New Japan pulled the trigger on Kota Ibushi, but it might have been for a reason that none of us foresaw. Admittingly. Mind you, do I mind that they pulled the trigger on Kota Ibushi? No. Especially after their match that they had. They set a record for longest main event in Wrestle Kingdom at 48 minutes and 5 seconds, by the way. There's your stats. See, Martin, I can do it too. But yeah, Jay White, after losing his match at Wrestle Kingdom, had a very odd, almost deranged shoot/kayfabe promo. Not on Wrestle Kingdom, Crave.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it wasn't at Wrestle Kingdom. Don't test me with the stats. Test me with the stats. I will listen. But we'll see what happens when it comes down to it. But Jay White had this beautiful, as I said, it was a deranged, it was emotional promo. At one point, he goes, "This is not the Switchblade Jay White. This is Jamie talking to you." And he basically said, no one helps him. He went to Japan to join the Young Lions for 3.5 years, leaving his girlfriend and family behind in New Zealand. He's gone back to Japan now during a global pandemic. And for what? Why is he doing all of this? And said that the very next day, which was New Year's Dash, would be he's contractually obligated to show up there. But after that, and I quote, "that's it." And he said that would be his last match with New Japan, which has shocked a lot of people considering as far as where he was in New Japan, he was always in the main event from just about a couple of months after he showed up. He was in the main event picture and always was shooting and gunning for the title. And if anyone knows a lot about the IWGP heavyweight title, it does not change hands lightly. And in fact, so Okada had like a 2.5, a year and a half, almost 2-year reign with it and only defended the belt 13 times. So it's not like this is a very commonly defended title, and it's not like it changes hands a lot. So Jay White already have won it once means a lot, especially with how young and how good he is. But now saying that he's not going to be part of New Japan anymore, that freaked a lot of people out. And then at New Year's Dash, he ended up taking the pin in a 5-man tag team match. Took the pin, was helped out of the ring, didn't stay, didn't do anything in the middle of the ring, didn't make a fuss, just walked out. Which was really weird and makes me question what lies in the future for New Japan, and especially what lies in the future with Jay White. But that's the New Japan hits.
Yeah, well, we're not done with that yet. Now,
right, but I mean,
I have questions because I don't watch Japan. At this
of course.
point, hold on. At this point, if you listen to this show, you would actually think I don't watch any wrestling.
Don't tell him, guys. Don't tell him. That's all. That's what we all think.
All right. I don't watch New Japan. I don't watch AEW. I don't watch Monday Night Raw. I don't watch SmackDown. All right. I need to stop saying I don't watch everything. But I have questions because I know absolutely nothing about Japan. Jay White's in the Bullet Club, is he not?
Jay White was the leader of Bullet Club, yes.
He was. How long ago?
Well, I won't use was quite yet because nothing has happened since then. So yes, Jay White is the current leader of Bullet Club, as we know.
And our good friend Kenta recently appeared where?
In Orlando, Florida, of all places, who is also part of the Bullet Club and also has the U.S. Challengers briefcase.
I'm telling you right now, Kenta ain't going back to WWE. So for him to be in Florida,
I think he's on three other winners, not WWE.
And I mean, wasn't someone changing from Florida to from Jacksonville, Florida to Miami?
They were.
A little bit of AEW. So could we in a world imagine a Bullet Club, an extra bit of this Bullet Club takeover? Because AEW had a very interesting ending, which we'll probably have to get into after next week since we're running low on time. But could we see an AEW where Jay White and Kenta appear? Could we see perhaps Kenta challenging Jon Moxley for the U.S. title, for the IWGP, a New Japan title, U.S. title, in America at AEW? I mean, we've said that there are changes going on, and we've had a Bullet Club conspiracy going on, and now we've got all of this extra stuff going on. We are racking our brains to see what possibly is in the nuances. Is there something big around the corner?
I have to say yes. You know, we as we know, and this has been widely reported at this point, so I'm not going to break any news here. AEW approached Jay White about his contract situation when AEW first started, and he told them, I would love to, but I am in a 7-year deal.
That was in 2018.
So he's what, 3 years in?
Yeah.
He's not exactly going to get out of there unless there was an opt-out we don't know about. It's possible. Right. So what you're telling me now is Jay White is fake or kayfabing, walking out on New Japan. What's more perfect than 2 weeks from now showing up on AEW? Well, I would save that for a pay-per-view, actually.
I would. But is that it still fit the timeline though?
It would. I don't even know. Is Revolution their next pay-per-view, Martin?
I think so.
And when's that?
I think it's for a big show like Double or Nothing or something like that.
The timing wouldn't work for a Double or Nothing or anything else. It would have to be Revolution. Unless Jay White disappears for X amount of time, which wouldn't be good for anything they're trying to do. No. If this is the actual theory.
Right.
So I wouldn't recommend that. I would have said they should just wait on that. But then again, we all know New Japan contracts would run up in January.
Yes. So it's hard to say, but we will have to see, because I think right now, as far as the wrestling community, there is a lot to look forward in the future. And maybe it's not all WWE, but as a wrestling community, I believe there's a lot to look forward to right now.
All right, guys. Before we sign off for the night, we're going to catch up on comments. You want to announce that yet?
Which one?
The thing me, you, and Crate are working on.
I mean,
Should we announce it yet? Should we hold off? Crate, are you still here? What do you think? What should we do? Let's catch up on comments and wait for a response on Crate.
right.
All right. So, Anthony, I agree because at the root of it, I think Reigns doesn't have much charisma either. Heyman makes a difference. To me, the problem with WWE today is they can't put it all together with one guy. Some have the charisma, but they weigh 150, and some are freaks in nature, but they can't say shit. They need to build larger-than-life characters.
At the same time, the 150-pound wrestlers, does that really matter nowadays?
Adam Cole could carry any company, any time frame, ever. All right, so Craig, you're here. You said let them know. Ladies and gentlemen, me, Jay, and Craig are working on a Discord server so that you can talk to us about anything all the time. We'll talk music. We'll try to avoid politics. That gets dicey. We'll talk music. We'll talk sports. Yeah, we'll have a special wrestling chat where you can communicate with us whenever you want, guys. It's coming. I'd say probably within the next week or so. Maybe less.
Give or take.
Watch our page. We'll announce it as soon as we get it done and ready to go. Back to the comments. I love when people agree with me. It's the best.
And it's Chad, and I know sometimes Chad and you get to fisticuffs, so I like that.
Fisticuffs. Anybody that wants the fisticuffs.
I know, but I'm supposed to be the milquetoast fence sitter.
As we described earlier, I am the heel of this show. Martin is definitely the white meat baby face, and Jay's just a tweener.
One of these days, you and I are going to actually have a large combative, brawl about the difference between New Japan and American style of wrestling.
That'll be an entire special episode.
Exactly. I was about to say that. And then we'll just split the chat down the middle and have them pick a side.
And I'm definitely going to send you through a table, but that's no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a good spot.
I don't know which match she's talking about, but that's a great match.
She was talking about Shingo Takagi and Jeff Cobb. I know that.
Back to this, there was a follow-up. I meant, when do we get it?
Oh, I mean, eventually.
It's gonna, depending. It could happen. It could not happen. It's debatable.
I mean, with them being on separate companies right now, it's going to be very difficult. But at the same time, I think they have milked the Ibushi and Kenny Omega storyline this long, and they don't mind continuing it. They know the nuances of this story.
Ibushi is the tag team partner, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I knew what I was talking about.
Behind the scenes, they were unfortunately, I got into Japanese pro wrestling after the fact, and it was kind of when they were avoiding each other for like 3 years. But behind the scenes, it was said that they are lovers. They live together and they train together and the whole nine. So pardon me if I'm not getting all of it correct, but there is a long-standing story. By the time I got into it, it was only almost a 7-year story going on. So they know how to play this beautifully, and I think they are pacing it at the slow rate it needs to go when you're talking about two top guys that can headline, that can each be the world champion in their respective companies. You don't rush that. So a 60-minute time limit draw on an Iron Man match, sure, I'll take it, and I could take it 3 years down the line as long as they are still in decent wrestling shape and with how good these two are.
And Dave Meltzer will give it a 13-star rating.
Yeah, and Ibushi will take at least 7 neck bumps.
Martin, any final thoughts on tonight?
All good.
All good?
Right.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
I was sending it to you, literally.
You were sending it to me, and now you've messed me up. I've tried to close out this show so many times the right way, the proper way, and this time it was your fault.
That's fine.
This has been the Game Changer Sports Network with the Ringside Roundup. I am your host, JD. Joining me tonight and signing off for them, we've got the smartest man in the room, Martin Lee, the boss, the owner, the guy that tried to too sweet all of y'all peoples. We've got Jake. Thank you for joining us in the comments. Anthony, it was great to have you. Chad, Craith, we appreciate all of you guys coming around, talking to us, giving us some things to talk about. Remember, join us on Facebook, Twitch. We're pushing the Twitch, so we're going to shove that down your throats. official_GCSN. Come and join us, and thank you for joining us tonight